groups all through the park. You'll hear them announced later. Groups coming for the deck over there, the Strathmore Rooftop Party Deck. Today we want to welcome as well, on our bus today, a group from Bayview Place is here to come and be part of this day. We're excited to have them. Ken and Patricia Mariash and the people of Bayview Place. Ken and Patricia Mariash regarded as some of the most visionary developers in the world, and they call Victoria home. They can live anywhere they want. They live here in Victoria, and we're proud to have them as Victoria residents. Would you help us to welcome them here to the park today, please? They're philanthropists, they're visionary, they get things done, and Ken was a notable pitcher back in the day at Tisdale. Ken, hello, great to have you here, sir. I want to see that arm one of these days. That's what I want to see. Appreciate you being here. Thanks very much for being here at our park today. We have a special first pitch. A lovely young girl is going to come on out and show us how it's done. Jack Smith is going to come catch. From Aussies on Mains, please welcome Sophia to the field, guys. Jack working on his range. Jack, gonna send that ball. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, everybody from Aussies on Yates. Sophia getting a great signed baseball from a guy I know who wants to play in the big leagues someday. It's awesome.
All right, friends, at this time we have some keys and rides for Luke House singing the national anthems performed this afternoon by Emma St. Dennis.
In the Park Day at Wilson's Group Stadium, a good crowd of fans and their dogs in attendance on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Victoria, British Columbia, as the Victoria HarbourCats get set to wrap their 3-game weekend series against the Bellingham Bells. Thanks for tuning in here on Go Live Broadcast. My name is Mike Edwards, with you along with our producer Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck. Well, these two teams have split the first two games of the series. The HarbourCats taking game one on Friday night 6-5, and the Bells answering back yesterday with a 10-2 victory. So today we play the rubber match in what is a very important game for the HarbourCats. After the Bells win last night, the HarbourCats drop back to 3.5 games behind Bellingham for first in the West Coast League North Division. And with the first half schedule winding down for both of these teams, it's pivotal for the HarbourCats to win today to stay within reach of first place. HarbourCats take the field in their Sunday afternoon red and white alternates. The Bells are wearing their alternate black uniforms. As we check out the game time weather here in Victoria, a little bit of cloud cover. It was a very nice morning here in Victoria, BC, but a couple clouds overhead now. It's 16 degrees Celsius, 61 degrees Fahrenheit, and a little bit of wind out to left field, but the wind is not nearly as strong as it has been the past 2 days, so we don't expect that to be a big factor, at least not at the present moment, to start the game. As we look at now the Bellingham starting lineup fielded by the skipper Bob Miller. It'll be led off by Jordan Stoner in left field. Ernie Yake, the shortstop, bats second. Zach Needham hits third at third base. Matt James, the DH, is in the cleanup spot. Connor Mack, the center fielder, who homered in yesterday's game, bats fifth. Dusty Stroop is sixth, back in the lineup after the day off yesterday at second base. Landon Kimbrough, the first baseman, bats seventh. Cody Pasek doing the catching this afternoon, bats eighth, and the lineup is rounded out by Jack Machtolf in right field. We will see Ben Leeper, the Bellingham starter, in the bottom of the first inning. But for Victoria, it's Tyler Hilton taking the ball, the right-hander out of Mesa Community College. He has made a couple of starts on the season as 1-0 with the HarbourCats, and he's pitched quite well here to start the summer with Victoria, despite the fact that he has a 4.90 ERA. In 11 innings of work, Hilton has allowed 9 hits and a walk, so that's a whip under 1, and he has struck out 8 batters as well. Hilton went 5 innings in his last start on June the 16th against Port Angeles, allowed 5 runs on 7 hits and 3 walks in those 5 innings, so it was not quite as good as his first start of the season back on June the 6th, where he allowed just 2 hits and a walk and 1 run in 6 innings while picking up the win for the HarbourCats. The umpiring crew is a small one today, just as it was last night. The 2-man umpiring crew of Corey Klein behind home plate and Scott Eckhart roaming around the infield. Of course, with no runners on base, he'll be stationed at first, as he is now, and we are just about set to get this one underway on Bark in the Park Day. Hoping for a good ball game for the dogs to take in, and we hope that we won't have any dogs running on the field, but we were here last year for Bark in the Park Day, and there were no such incidents, as the first pitch of the game is fouled away. We're underway here in Victoria. Good crowd on hand here on this Sunday as the HarbourCats wrap the series with Bellingham. Big game for both teams. The Bells, we talked about the HarbourCats and the importance of them closing the gap. The Bells can really distance themselves with a win here this afternoon. Stoner with a pop-up back of first base. Could be a tough play for Jack Smith, and a nice sliding catch is made by him, Wally, in foul ground for the first out of the ball game. That one was heading out towards no man's land in foul territory, but Wally was able to track it down. So Stoner is retired to start the contest here for Tyler Hilton. And it'll be Ernie Yake now to hit. In yesterday's game, he was 2 for 5 with a couple runs scored. That raises the average on the season for Yake to 339. First pitch bounces to the plate. A ball and no strikes is the count. Yake as well has had 3 extra base hits in this series, the first 2 games of it, with a couple of triples and a double to his name. So he has been showing off the speed rounding the bases and also the extra base power that he has. Count is 2 balls and no strikes here on Yake. And Hilton sets for the pitch. That one fouled back, 2-1. After Yake, it'll be Zach Needham, the third baseman, to hit here in this first inning. Nice play made in the seats, catching that foul ball. Two balls and one strike. That one a little outside to Ernie Yake. Count now 3-1. Now the 3-1 pitch, and that one drops in. Count moves full to 3-2. Talked about Hilton making his third start of the summer for the HarbourCats. He's coming off a pretty good season with Mesa Community College. Appeared in 13 games, just made the one start, but had a 2-1 record with 2 saves this past season. Had a 3.95 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP. As the 3-2 pitch is spoiled away there by Yake. We'll do it again on 3-2. Count still full, and the payoff pitch, another one upcoming from Hilton. Swing and a miss, he got him. Foul tip actually held onto by the catcher, Matt Clayton, and Yake is retired for out number 2. So here is Zach Needham, comes in at .333, 7 for 21. A couple of homers and 6 RBIs for him on the season. And he hits here in the top of the first with the bases clear and 2 away. Needham started his swing but held up, and it's a ball and no strikes. Needham yesterday was 2 for 5, a couple of runs scored and a couple of runs driven in for him. And the 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air, deep right field. Drifting over to his left, Jed Fagg towards the foul line, and he will reach back to make the catch. And that'll be all for the Bells here in the top of the first. A nice 1-2-3 first inning for Hilton, as the HarbourCats will come up to hit next in the bottom of the first inning on Go Live Broadcast.
So good.
Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. I run at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How are you making donuts?
Bottom of the first inning at Wilson's Group Stadium. No score in the rubber match this afternoon between the Victoria HarbourCats and Bellingham Bells. We thank you for tuning in on this Sunday on Go Live Broadcasts as Nick Playa will dig in to lead off the HarbourCats half of the first inning. He takes strike one. They're from Ben Leeper, the starter on the mound for Bellingham this afternoon. Leeper is a hard thrower, and he's only expected to go about 3 innings max in this game. They're going to piggyback him with another long relief option out of the bullpen. He isn't a guy who is stretched out to go a full 5, 6, 7 innings as a normal starter. This is his first start of the year, has made 2 relief appearances as Playa swings and misses at the high fastball. And that's a strikeout on 3 pitches here for Leeper to start his afternoon. Leeper on the year has a 7.71 ERA, allowed 6 hits and 2 walks in 4 2/3 innings with 6 strikeouts. But Leeper, another note on him is he's coming off Tommy John surgery in 2017. So again, they're trying to, the Bells, manage his workload. He returned to the Oklahoma State Cowboys program this spring for their season. But it is very, of course, a sensitive ordeal with players coming off of Tommy John, not to be overworked. Nothing in 2 quickly here on Cade Brown as Ben Leeper has started the game throwing strikes for the Bells. And he'll step off and reset his feet on the rubber here before the 0-2 pitch to Cade Brown. Swing and a miss, he got him. And the tag is applied for another strikeout. 2 already in 2 batters faced for Leeper, excuse me. So that'll bring Jason Willow to the plate. He starts in center field in this one. As he swings and misses at that first pitch there from Leeper. Willow has been moved around a bit in this series. His first action with the HarbourCats this summer. Started the first game at DH, then third base yesterday, now center field in the finale. First ball thrown of the afternoon there by Leeper. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Jason Willow. And the pitch. Catches the zone, and it's now 1-2. Rest of the HarbourCats order this afternoon looks like this. Jed Fagg, the right fielder, bats in the cleanup spot. Matt Clayton is 5th. Harrison Spahn 6th as the 1-2 pitch is on the way, and that's another swing and a miss. As Ben Leeper strikes out the side in the first, we'll tell you the rest of the HarbourCats lineup when we come back for the top of the second inning on Go Live Broadcast. On to the second inning we go here on Go Live Broadcasts. For the first time in this series, we go to inning number 2 after the HarbourCats scored 3 in the bottom of the first on Friday night. The Bells scored 1 in the top of the first yesterday. And as the first pitch from Tyler Hilton misses off the plate outside to the DH Matt James. Both Hilton and Leeper making quick work of their opposing batting orders in the first inning, retiring the side in order. Another pitch close but missing, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. We'll go through again the full HarbourCats lineup as we were cut off by the end of the bottom of the first inning. 2 balls and no strikes is the count here on Matt James. This one is popped up, foul ball, and that'll get out of play. It's Playa Brown Willow who hit in the first, the top third of the order for Victoria. Jed Fagg will lead off the bottom of the second in the cleanup spot. Matt Clayton, the catcher, batting 5th. Harrison Spawn at third base is 6th. Jack Smith, the first baseman, bats 7th. Dustin Demeter at short is batting 8th. And Adam Imwali, the second baseman, will bat 9th. That one is bounced in on Matt James to move the count to 3-1. As both teams looking for their first base runner of the game. James certainly would be happy to take a leadoff walk here to start the second. Hilton set on the mound, and here is the 3-1 pitch. And this one is lifted into foul ground. Jack Smith gives it a look, but he'll watch it sail into the seats. Over by the Big Red double-decker bus, Wilson's Group Upper Deck Experience. That'll fill the count to 3-2. Hilton looking in. Now has his sign, and he's set for the payoff pitch to Matt James. That one a ground ball to second. Adam Imwali scoops it up, has plenty of time to throw out James for out number 1 here of the second inning. Well, coming up in the inning break in the middle of the second, we'll have part 1 of a highlight pack from last night's game, the 10-2 victory for Bellingham over Victoria. That's coming up after the top of the second. Look at the defensive alignment in behind Tyler Hilton for Victoria today. Left to right in the outfield, it's Playa Willow and Jed Fagg. Left side of the infield is Harrison Spawn and Dustin Demeter. Adam Imwali, Jack Smith on the right side. And Matt Clayton doing the catching and forming the battery with Tyler Hilton. Hilton threw a first pitch strike here to Connor Mack, who digs in with the bases clear and 1 away. And the 0-1. Just missing a little up and in that time from Hilton. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mack coming off a 2-for-5 ball game yesterday. Hit that solo home run. Also came around to score a second run. And the 1-1 pitch. That one comes inside and hits Mack on the elbow. Looked like it caught him right on that elbow protector, so he doesn't appear any worse for wear. So it'll be the first base runner for either side of the game on a hit by pitch. And that will bring the second baseman Dusty Stroop up to hit here for his first hacks of the ball game. First pitch to Stroop is high and away, and it's a ball and no strikes. Stroop got the start at second base on Friday night. Had the day off yesterday, did not feature in the game, but gets back in here for the finale on this Sunday afternoon. 1-0 pitch is taken at the knees, strike 1. Ball and a strike. Here the count on Stroop. And that one is a slider trying to come back to that inside corner, but just missed off the plate, and it's 2-1. Runner at first with 1 away here for the Bells as they look to open the scoring as they did in yesterday's game. Here's a quick throw over to check on the runner Mack at first, who dives back in safely. Now the 2-1. This one is lifted in the air and on the infield. It'll be Demeter, the shortstop, drifting over near the second base bag. Had to be careful he didn't trip over it, but he concentrated to make the catch for out number 2. Well, it has been an offensive first 2 games, and the runs in both of those 2 games, most of them coming early. And so it would be a bit of a different game if we had a more of a pitcher's duel this afternoon, but it looks like both Hilton and Leeper are locked in, at least to start. As Mack dives back in at first once again, he is pretty good speed off of first, so Hilton is paying some attention to him. This is Landon Kimbrough, the first baseman, at the plate, taking up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Would not be surprising to see the Bells put Mack in motion here to try to swipe second and get himself in scoring position with 2 outs for Kimbrough. One 0 pitch is a swing and a miss, 1-1. Kimbrough in yesterday's game was 1 for 5, but his 1 hit drove in a run in the top of the first inning. With 2 outs, he singled back up the middle and scored that runner from second base. Mack at the moment, though, still at first. Long look in here from Hilton, and the 1-1 is up and in, 2-1. Connor Mack at first here with 2 away in the top of the second inning. And the 2-1 pitch. High once again to move the count to 3-1. Good hitters count here for Kimbrough. And the 3-1 pitch. That one will miss inside, and it'll be a walk with 2 away. That'll push Connor Mack up to second base. And now it's the catcher, Cody Pasek, who started on Friday night, just like Dusty Stroop, and got the day off yesterday, but he's back in here with 2 on and 2 out for Bellingham as they look to strike first here in the top of the second. It's Mack at second after the hit by pitch, and Kimbrough at first after the walk. And Hilton's first pitch is in for strike 1 as he's able to get ahead of Pasek with the first pitch strike. Hilton, the fastball for him tops out around 85, 86. Which lies in contrast to Ben Leeper, the starter for Bellingham, who's up touching 90 regularly with his fastball. Even after, as we mentioned, the Tommy John surgery, it often is very difficult for pitchers to regain that velocity. But at least relative to what we see in the West Coast League, the 90 miles per hour for Leeper is still good. 1-1 pitch outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, 90 miles per hour is not fast when you look at what we see in the big leagues these days, and it seems like every young pitcher coming up is throwing in the upper 90s. Two balls and 1 strike is the count here on Pasek. That one outside, and it's 3-1. So Hilton has lost the zone a little bit here in this second inning. Still a chance to get out of it with any out here in the second. Good hitters count here, 3-1 on Pasek with 2 men on and 2 out. And the pitch from Hilton is outside for ball 4, and that'll load him up. Here with a couple of walks and a hit batter for Hilton. Still 2 outs, and not the way that he would have liked this second inning to go. He's thrown a lot of pitches, and he's really had to work hard. But a chance still to get out of this without any damage, as the number 9 hitter Jack Machtolf will hit. Golden opportunity on the flip side here for Bellingham. Machtolf can come through with a base hit here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. No hits on either side. The bases have been loaded all by the 2 walks and the hit batter. This one is grounded to second, and that should get him out of it. Little bobble by Wally, and he won't have a play. As I spoke too soon, and Wally, I think, was trying to think about the throw to first base before he had secured that ball in his glove. And as a result, a run scores. It's 1-0 Bellingham. Perhaps it might have also taken a difficult hop for him, Wally, but he did have a good amount of time to try to throw out Machtolf had he fielded it cleanly. But it'll go down as an error, scoring the game's first run here in the top of the second for Bellingham, and we go back to the top of the order for Jordan Stoner. And Stoner looks at ball 1 on a breaking pitch, missing up and in. Base is still full here with now a run home in this second inning, and the 1-0 pitch to Stoner is on the way from Hilton. Little pop up to first. Jack Smith underneath it. He will make the catch, and that gets Tyler Hilton out of the inning. Just the 1 run comes across for Bellingham, and they lead it 1-0 on Go Live Broadcast, as we will show you the highlights from last night.
Thank you very much, Dan. Every day in Wilson's Transportation, HarbourCats are very pleased to recognize a serviceman or woman from our Canadian military, retired former Navy commander.
Wearing their alternate all baby blue uniforms, the light blue jerseys and pants, as this ball is flared out to left, and a sliding catch is made in left field by Jackson Fagg. And that's a nice way to start the ball game for the HarbourCats, with a nice defensive play in left field. Good crowd on hand here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Could not be a better night for baseball at the ballpark, as the 2-2 is lined up the middle into center, and that'll get through for a hit. In to score is Yake, and it's 1-0 Bellingham. Was not quite his sharpest in that first, but he certainly will be happy to limit the damage, as this ball is hit well in the air, deep left, and it is gone. A solo shot to start out inning number 2 for the Bells, as Connor Mack goes deep to left field. It's 2-0. 1-0 pitch is grounded to third. Willow with the scoop, the throw across the diamond in plenty of time at first. And it is a 1-2-3, top of the third for Garrett Goodall in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-2. Down the line, that's a fair ball, and into left field. Malinchuk scores. Willow scores. Digging for 2 is Fagg, and he is in there with a slide. And we are all tied up at wearing their alternate Here's Jed Fagg digging in to start the HarbourCats half of the second inning, and Fagg is coming off another good game yesterday. Drove in the only 2 runs for Victoria with the 2-run double, so he was 1 for 4. Comes in to this game at .351. He has been a very important bat with a lot of timely hits this season for the HarbourCats. Ball and a strike as the off-speed pitch there fooled Fag at the plate. Was well out in front of it, and now the 1-1 from Leeper. Good breaking pitch, drops in for strike 2. One-two pitch. That one outside and low in the dirt. That'll even up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember, Leeper back in the first inning struck out the side in order, so HarbourCats will have the middle third due up here with Fag, Matt Clayton, and Harrison Spahn. Count is full on Jed Fag, 3-2. And the payoff pitch. That catches the zone, and it's strike 3 called. So 4 consecutive strikeouts here for Leeper to start his afternoon. Exactly how he would have loved to start this game. And he's also kept his pitch count down to this point. He's thrown 16 pitches to strike out those 4 batters, and especially important because we talked about the fact that he does have a bit of a cap on him of roughly 3 innings, or whatever that translates to with the pitches. I'm sure Bob Miller, the skipper, and pitching coach Jim Clem for the Bells have a number in mind. Ball and no strikes here to Clayton as he lines one up the middle into center for a base hit. And that will be the first hit of the ball game on either side, even though the Bells took the lead without needing a hit in the top half of the inning. Nice piece of hitting there from Clayton using the middle of the field. And a hard liner through to center gives the HarbourCats their first base runner. So now it's Harrison Spahn, who had 3 hits last night for Victoria, 3 for 4. Was really the only bat in the order that was really swinging a hot bat in the game yesterday. He just came up and pounded out 3 singles, all line drives. A 1 pitch to Spahn, misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just back to what we were talking about in the last inning with Leeper and Tommy John surgery and the velocity of pitchers. You do see a lot of the younger arms who are coming up to make their big league debuts in the last couple of years. The general trend is that they're all throwing very hard in the upper 90s, some even touching 100. But I still think as Spahn takes ball 2 that time, it's 2-1. I still think there's something to be said for the fact that good location does trump velocity. And I don't think that's ever really going to change with baseball, because Spahn waves and misses at that 2-1 pitch. It's 2-2. Perhaps at the collegiate level, good velocity can overwhelm some hitters, but when you have big league hitters in the major leagues and you have a lot of velocity, still those hitters can catch up with it if it's over the plate. As Spahn strikes out, that was good location there on the outer half from Leeper, and that's out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman from Washington State, number 13, Jack Smith.
Runner at first with 2 away now for Jack Smith, the first baseman, as he will stride to the plate to take his first cuts of the game. Quick throw over to Matt Clayton at first, who is back in. There is strike 1 as Leeper continues to fill up the strike zone. It's a shame for the Bells that he has that cap on him, because he has been absolutely pinpoint with his command here to start this afternoon's contest. As Smith lines one in the air to center, but it will hang up for Connor Mack, and he'll put it away. The first ball put in play that records an out for the HarbourCats as Ben Leeper strikes out 2 more in the inning and strands the 1-out single by Clayton. 1-0, the Bells lead the HarbourCats as we go to the 3rd.
yards of passing, Grand Prix, Parksville. We'll get a little hit for pass action going on.
0-2 pitch is hit hard back up the middle into center field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the trail runner for the plate. It's cut off, and it's another single that scores a pair for the Bells. It's now 6-2. And this is Matt James, who sends a fly ball deep center. Malinchuk back, and it is over his head, and this will roll up against the wall. 2 more runs will score as James comes through. A 2-run double makes it 8-2. Is that Nicky Gibbs, the catcher who usually wears 27, wears 99, a la Aaron Judge, when these unis are worn. As this ball is in the air to left, will get down in front of Jackson Fagg. And to score from third is James to make it 10-2. There's a soft liner and a nice play at short by Spawn. And that's out number 2, as Spawn was able to leap off the infield dirt and take a hit away from Ernie Yake. And another 0-2 is on the way. Swing and a miss, he got him. And that's the ball game tonight here at Wilson's Group Stadium. The Bells respond with a big win in the middle game of the series. 10-2 they win it on 15 hits and an error for Bellingham HarbourCats. The 2 runs on 9 hits and no errors for them. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Bells as we go to the 3rd inning. Tyler Hilton back to work here for Victoria as he has pitched through 2 hitless innings, but did allow the 1 run, not an earned run, as the first pitch is skied to left. That will fall in front of Playa, and it's a little bloop base hit that does the job here for Ernie Yake to get himself aboard, and that is the first hit of the ball game for Bellingham. Was a couple of walks and a hit by pitch that put Hilton in the bases loaded jam an inning ago, and then the error by Imwali at second allowed 1 run to come in to score. So it's Bellingham in the lead and looking for more with their leadoff man here in the inning, Ernie Yake, aboard at first. And the first pitch to Zach Needham drops in for strike 1. Nothing in 1 pitch here to Needham. Close but missing, and it's a ball and a strike. One pitch is outside and low that time to Needham. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. And it's Yake at first after the leadoff base hit. Yake has pretty good legs on the bases. We'll see if Bellingham is going to try to be aggressive and send him here. Another close pitch. Fastball going for that outside corner, but he missed with it. And the count is 3-1. So just as we talk about the command and the location of pitches, we've seen Ben Leeper, who has been pounding the zone and really hitting his spots. There is strike 2 on Needham to fill the count. And despite the fact that Hilton, up until that Yake at bat a hitter ago, hadn't allowed a hit, he did work his way into the trouble with those walks, just unable to find the strike zone for a stretch in that 2nd inning. 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and it's grounded foul. So Yake will be forced to return to first base. We'll do it again on 3-2 here to Needham. Another 3-2 pitch here from Hilton to Zach Needham. And it's on the way. Another grounder foul past first base. So Needham putting up a good battle here as he tries to work his way aboard. Both times the runner at first, Ernie Yake, has been going on the pitch. See if he's running again here on 3 and 2. And just getting a little piece of it, reaching out to foul it away, is Needham. He spoiled off a good pitch by Hilton to stay alive at the plate. It's still 3 and 2, as Hilton will rub up a new baseball. Count is still full, 3 and 2 on Zach Needham. And Hilton is set for the delivery. Runner goes once again, and it's ball 4. So there will be no throw down to second base. Base hit and a walk to start the 3rd inning here for Bellingham, and they have 2 men aboard with nobody out. Good chance to build on their 1-0 lead here as the DH Matt James will step to the plate. James had 3 more hits in yesterday's game with 2 RBIs to add to his total. He now sits at .353 on the season as the spin and a throw back to second, and they got him. Nice pickoff move there from Hilton to throw it to the shortstop Demeter covering the bag, and Ernie Yake is nabbed at second base for out number 1. That's a big first out here for Hilton in this 3rd inning. Grounder to 3rd, and that's just foul. So now the outlook of the inning changes drastically here for Bellingham. They had a chance to potentially get a couple runners over into scoring position and get something out of this frame. Now Hilton is a double play ball away from getting through this 3rd frame. 0-1 here on Matt James. That one well outside from Hilton, a ball and a strike. With those 2 RBIs, by the way, James has taken over the lead all to himself in the West Coast League RBI leaderboard. Now has 15 ribbies already this season. Count is 2-1. And the pitch is grounded foul once again as James was a little out in front of it. That'll even up the count to 2-2. Zach Needham is the runner at first with 1 away. Two-two pitch. And that one is close as he was going for that outside corner, but just missed with it a little off the plate. Count is full, 3-2. Would not be surprising to see Needham break for second on this 3-2 pitch. We'll see if he's put in motion. Runner is going. The swing and a miss for the strikeout. Down to second. They got him. Strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. And a nice job by Hilton to strike out James. Good toss by Clayton down to second base to nab the base stealer. On to the bottom of the 3rd here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 1-0. The Bells lead the HarbourCats.
Man, that was a lot left double play. When you get your lock on in mid-4. People in Section 8, make some noise. You're going to win some booster juice. We have got a dance-off. Harvey, where are you going? Lead down on the field. In replacement for Ethan Reeves' dancing session, today we have Harvey and Debbie versus Ace and Cindy. And our dance off, take it away. Well, it was close. I think everyone's going to get a bag of mini donuts from Wilson's Mini Donuts. That was awesome. Big round of applause once again for Debbie and Harvey, Ace and Cindy. Debbie is down here today helping out with the Cops for Cancer Tour to Rock. They are raising money with the 50-50, so make sure you get your extra roll 50-50 tickets. Leading off for the HarbourCats, the shortstop from the University of Hawaii, number 10, Dustin Demeter.
On to the bottom of the third. The Bells in front of the HarbourCats here on this Sunday afternoon, the series finale. 1-0 on the Air that scored the game's first run in the top of the second inning. One hit apiece in the hit column for both sides as Dustin Demeter leads off the home half of the third for Victoria, taking a strike there, 1-1. 8-9-1 for the HarbourCats will come to the plate here in this inning. Demeter, Imwali, and then back to the top of the order for Playa, as Demeter took a big swing at that high fastball. Clocked at 89 from Leaper. Count is 1-2. Already 5 strikeouts through 2 innings for Leaper. And the 1-2 pitch is low and away. Good disciplined take there by Demeter. Two pitch outside, 3-2. Nice job by Demeter here working the count. And that will help elevate the pitch count of Leaper, who, despite the fact that he has struck out a lot of batters, which usually elevates the pitch count, he has managed to keep it down. That one misses outside, and it's a leadoff walk for Demeter. That was the 31st pitch thrown by Demeter in 2+ innings. Here now Adam Imwali out of the State College of Florida. Imwali trying to atone for the error in the second inning that allowed the Bells to score their first run. First pitch to Imwali is just missing, 1 ball and no strikes. Imwali on the season, an even 200 average, 6 for 30, and he has 6 RBIs as well for Victoria. One-0 pitch, a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Demeter aboard at first after the leadoff walk, and Imwali is ahead in the count, 2-0. HarbourCats trying to respond to the 1 run the Bells scored in the second, as Imwali takes a strike that time. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. They'd love to turn the order over back to Nick Playa with 2 men on and nobody out. Before the 2-1 pitch, a throw over to check on Demeter at first. 2-1 pitch, runner goes, and it's fouled away hard towards the HarbourCats dugout area. That one was a low liner that I don't think hit the ground before it rocketed off the concrete wall. A couple players had to jump out of the way. Count is 2-2 now on Adam and Wally. And the pitch. Check swing, he held up. And the pitch missed for ball 3. So back-to-back full counts. Demeter drew a walk to start the inning, and Wally is getting set here for the 3-2 from Leeper. Runner goes. This one is hit in the air to right field. Should be playable for Machtolf, and Demeter is forced to retreat to first base as Machtolf makes the catch for out number 1. So back to the top of the order we go for Nick Playa. 1 on, 1 out for Victoria here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Playa struck out in the first, leading off the HarbourCats half of inning number 1. Ball and no strikes, and a swing and a miss there by Playa on that first pitch from Leeper. Another throw over to check on Demeter at first base. And he will dive back in there at first. 0-1 here on Playa, the hitter at the plate. And the 0-1. Runner goes for second. Here's the throw down, and it's thrown into center field. Demeter will take that extra 90 feet to third, and he is in there. Well, that's what happens when you put pressure on the defense. And Dustin Demeter, had the throw been a good one from Pasek, the catcher, he might have been out at second. Looked like the throw was just ahead of him, but by missing the second base bag and throwing it into center field, it allowed Demeter to advance first to third and a chance to tie the game without necessarily needing a hit. Here with Playa, at the plate, and 1 out. 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, 1-2. So we know what Leeper's pitching for. It's the strikeout, which he already has 5 of them in the game, and one of those 5 came against Nick Playa. Playa just trying to put something in play as the 1-2 pitch is going to be ball 2, as Playa did not go around on the swing. Demeter at third here with 1 out. HarbourCats trail 1-0. Try to tie this game up here in this bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-2. Another disciplined take for Playa as the slider running away from him missed outside. Count is full here on Nick Playa, 3-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Big strikeout for Leeper as he came upstairs with the gas. That one clocked at 91 and got it by him. So now they'll take a hit from Cade Brown, the DH, to knock in Demeter from third. Here's the first pitch to Brown. That one misses in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. "1-0 is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it was a big opportunity here for the HarbourCats. They try to get to Ben Leeper the second time through the order. We do not expect Leeper to go too much longer in this game. 1-1 pitch. Just misses as he was going for that outside corner. It's now 2-1. Chris Michaels, the lefty, is warming up down in the bullpen. Appears to be ready to come in when needed. Here's the 2-1. Good breaking ball, strike 2. This is Leeper's inning to finish. He told you that he was expected to go if all went well, 3 innings. Trying to find one more out to get his team through the third with the lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And the pitch to Brown is a foul tip held onto for strike 3, and it's another strikeout for Leeper. That is 7 for him in 3 innings. HarbourCats freeze that runner at third base, cannot get him in, and it's 1-0 Bellingham as we head to the 4th.
Today we have Owen for 2 shots. Whenever you're ready, Owen. Close.
So good.
Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How do you make the donuts?
Congratulations, Keith Morley. Keith Morley, one of his names, 2 decades.
Hey, how many questions? 7 or 8?
Leading off for the Bells, the center fielder, number 34,
On to the middle innings of this afternoon's contest here on a great Sunday to come out to the ballpark. It's Bark in the Park Day here at Wilson's Group Stadium as this ball is hit well in the air, deep left field, and it is gone. Connor Mack has gone deep again. Another solo shot after the one he hit last night, and that will extend the Bellingham lead to 2-0. And wasting no time on the first pitch of the 4th inning. Another homer for Mack. That'll be the 2nd run of the game for Bellingham, and his home run yesterday actually was the same sort of deal. He was leading off the 2nd inning in what was a 1-run game, a 1-0 Bells lead, and that homer made it 2-0 as well. So after the long ball for Mack, it'll be Dusty Stroop, the 2nd baseman, to hit. Bases clear and nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Now a 2-run Bells lead. That one in tight. 2 balls and no strikes is the count. HarbourCats now have a pitcher up and loosening in the HarbourCats bullpen down the right field line. This one is popped foul, out of play, 2-1. Well, we anticipate that Ben Leeper's day is done after the 3 very good innings. 1 run, or check that, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts through those 3 frames. The expected pitcher that'll come in to kind of piggyback him as a 2-man, if you will, starter is Chris Michaels out of Washington. So we'll expect that he'll start the bottom of the 4th inning when the HarbourCats come back up to hit. Count is 2-2 here on Dusty Stroop. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Good bounce back at bat for Hilton to strike out Stroop. And that'll be the first out of the 4th. So now here's Landon Kimbrough, the first baseman. Kimbrough drew a walk his first time up. This one a little bloop out to right, and it will get down for a base hit. So Kimbrough will reach base. 1-on-1 out for Bellingham with a run home here in this 4th inning, trying to expand the lead further as they have a 2-0 advantage, trying to take the series here in the rubber match. This is the catcher, Cody Pasek, at the plate, and he takes a first pitch strike, painting that outside corner from Tyler Hilton. Well, this Bells franchise joined the West Coast League back in 2005 as a founding member of the league. Before joining the West Coast League, Bellingham also had a Class A short season minor league affiliate of the Seattle Mariners from 1977 to 1994. So despite the fact that the West Coast League is still, relatively speaking, a newer league, just back in 2005, Bellingham has had a long tradition of baseball. Nothing in 1 pitch is coming up here to Pasek, and it's taken for strike 2. And for that Bellingham team, the Class A short season affiliate of the Mariners, Bellingham was able to witness a number of outstanding players come through their program en route to the big leagues with Seattle. Nothing in 2 pitch here. It's outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But you look at the likes of Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., Pedro Guerrero, another one, Omar Vizquel, Rick Sutcliffe, and Mike Scioscia, among others, all came through Bellingham on their way up to the Mariners. 1-2 pitch is lined into center field. This will drop for a base hit. And the Bells have back-to-back singles here after the solo home run to start the 4th. So now it's Jack Mactoff, the right fielder. Kimbrough at second, Pasek at first, with 1 gone in the top of the 4th inning. Tyler Hilton has run into a little bit of trouble in a couple innings in this one this afternoon. Gave up the solo shot to make it 2-0 Bellingham to start this inning, but now trying to limit the damage to just that solo home run coming across. 4 hits now for Bellingham, just the 1 for Victoria. Hilton is set for the 1-0 pitch to Mactoff. And this one is fouled away down the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just back to the star-studded names that played in Bellingham for their previous team from 1977 to 94, the old Bellingham Bells. The Bells also have had a number of good players come through. The current Bells team, the West Coast League team, en route to the big leagues. Look at Jeff Francis, one of the best Canadian pitchers of all time. Mark Zipchinski, Ty Taubenheim, Jake Locker, another big name, although of course, a bigger name in the NFL. Here's now the 1-2 pitch coming up to Mactoff, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for Hilton, and that's the 2nd out. But talk about Locker, who ultimately decided, coming out of the University of Washington, to go pro in the NFL. He was the 8th overall selection in the 2011 NFL draft by the Tennessee Titans, and unfortunately for him, his NFL career was cut short after a string of injuries and just was never quite able to live up to the hype. But Locker, it was interesting to read his Baseball America page. As this ball is flown to center field, we will continue our discussion of Jake Locker in the next half inning as Willow puts it away to retire the side. Bells add another. It's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Thank you very much, and the Boxes Minute today is also right in reminder with our Castle home plate giveaway that we try to do every game. much for all the work done around the park this year. This is old Doug Ferguson, young Doug Ferguson, who helped Troy, our first base coach. They just had a little man hug going over there. All the padding you guys have at the main grandstand, the cup holders, the installation done, a lot of the work done on the bus. Doug, thank you for all the work we did. And Ryan Green decided to for you to display where you want to have it. Our boxing minute is to thank you from the HarbourCats, from Troy and Tim Roots, our construction, and from our fans who were just welcome there from the beginning this year. You did so much of the work. We thank you for it. Say thank you to everybody that's your boxing minute. We'll pass the whole building sense. Thanks, buddy.
Now pitching for the Bells, number 31, Chris Michaels. Leading off for your HarbourCats, the center fielder from UCSB, number 22, Jason Willow.
Bottom of the fourth inning rolls in at Wilson's Group Stadium on a very pleasant Sunday afternoon for baseball here in Victoria, BC. 2-0, the Bellingham Bells lead the HarbourCats here in the rubber match, as Victoria will look to get their bats going here as we play the middle innings. A new pitcher, as expected. It's Chris Michaels, the left-hander out of the University of Washington. He stands at 6 feet 1, 181 pounds. His first pitch missed for 1 ball and no strikes to Jason Willow. 3, 4, and 5 for Victoria here coming up to hit, as Willow with a big swing and a miss there to even up the count to 1-1. And speaking of the Washington Huskies, where Chris Michaels plays his collegiate ball, we'll go back to wrap that point on Jake Locker, another Huskies alumni, as the 1-1 pitch misses there to Willow. 2 balls and a strike. What's interesting about Locker is that when he played for the Bells back in 2008, he was named by Baseball America the top prospect playing in the West Coast League that year, and not because he was the star quarterback of the Huskies, but because many scouts believed he had a future in baseball. As this will be a quick out number 1 as Willow flies out to center. Connor Mack, the center fielder, makes the catch for out number 1. And I think a lot of scouts, they believe that he could have made it pro in baseball and become a big league outfielder had he gone that route, but instead, of course, he chose football, and it didn't go as he planned with the Titans. So still an excellent 2-sport athlete, a great talent in both sports, but just a story of perhaps what could have been had he chosen baseball over football. One-0 pitch is missing upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. This is Jed Fagg, the right fielder. I think still, though, it's tough to fault, I think, Jake Locker at all. Just didn't wind up going how he had planned. But when you're the 8th overall pick in the NFL draft, it's very hard to turn that down, especially with the long road to the major leagues through the minor league system. Locker was a draft pick of the LA Angels in the 37th round. That one misses there to Jed Fagg. 3 balls and a strike is the count. This one is grounded to first. Kimbrough scoops it up, and he will take it unassisted to the bag for out number 2.
Now batting the catcher from Nevada, number 34, Matt Clayton.
Well, for Bellingham, Ben Leeper put in 3 very strong innings getting the start in this game, and now Chris Michaels trying to continue that positive momentum for Bellingham out of the bullpen. And this is his first appearance of the season with the Bells. Michaels, a recent arrival from Washington, of course. He had a good excuse for arriving late as the Huskies made it to the College World Series. Ultimately, though, they were eliminated. It'll be Oregon State once again, the Beavers playing in the College World Series, the final, as they defeated Mississippi State yesterday to advance. HarbourCats have players who they think were still planning to come when their college season ends. For Mississippi State, of course, Hunter Vansaw and Rowdy Jordan. Vansaw, great member of the HarbourCats last year, and so they'll be looking forward to his bat arriving in the lineup at some point. Two balls and a strike here with the bases empty and 2 away, as this one is grounded towards the hole and past Stroop at second for a base hit. So Matt Clayton is 2 for 2. And the HarbourCats trying to now get a 2-out rally going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. HarbourCats with just the 2 hits on their line, so Clayton has both of them. The rest of the lineup still in search of their collective first hit. Here is Harrison Spahn, the third baseman, trying to keep this inning alive and see if the HarbourCats can make something of this 4th inning. First pitch misses upstairs to Spahn, a ball and no strikes. One-0 pitch is popped up into foul ground. The catcher, Pasek, looking at it. He'll be called off by Kimbrough at first base. And Kimbrough makes the play to retire the side. 2-0, the Bells lead the HarbourCats as we head to the 5th on Go Live Broadcast.
It is the mascot base race. Today we have Crosby and Aislinn. We're going first to third here. Pregame high five. There it is. On your marks, get set, go! There you have it, Aislinn, Crosby, and then a close third. Hey, Ron Penalty, hard, great job. From VictoriaHomes.com is your family realtor. Supporting the HarbourCats since day one. Planning moves. Visit VictoriaHomes.com. Part of Remax Alliance. Leading off for the Bells, the shortstop, number 15, 28.
We go at Wilson's Group Stadium. HarbourCats trail the Bellingham Bells by a score of 2-0 here in the rubber match of this 3-game weekend series. We talked about how big of a game this is for Victoria. HarbourCats will have 3 games in Bellingham against the Bells coming up to close out the first half portion of their schedule, and those could be big games for Victoria as this ball is grounded foul past first base by Ernie Yake, leading off the top of the 5th for Bellingham. But those could be big games that could potentially decide the North Division first half crown if the HarbourCats can hang around and stay right there with the Bells and really make sure that that distance between themselves and Bellingham doesn't get too big as we start to wind down the first half portion of the season. But tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, I should say, is a big one in that the HarbourCats, if they win it, could go to 2.5 back. If they lose, Bellingham would go to 4.5 up. And Victoria does have games in hand, so if they go to 2.5 behind, their future and their destiny would be completely in their hands with the 3 games coming up in Bellingham and the fact that the HarbourCats have 3 games in hand themselves. 3-1 pitch is taken there for 3-2 by Ernie Yake. Tyler Hilton is back to work here for the 5th for Victoria. He's through 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 runs. 1 of them is earned, and 4 strikeouts. And the 3-2 is lifted foul out of play there by Yake. We'll do it again here on 3-2 coming up with Yake, Needham, and James, 2, 3, and 4 in the Bellingham order, due up to the plate here in the top half of inning number 5. And the payoff pitch is hit up the middle. Diving play by Mwali. He throws and he got him. What a play by Mwali to rob Ernie Yake of a base hit. And he threw him out from the seat of his pants at second base. Well, then Wally did make the error that allowed the first run of the game to score for Bellingham, but he more than made up for it with that stellar play to avoid the leadoff man in the inning, Ernie Yake, reaching base in front of the big hitters in the lineup for Bellingham with Needham and James to follow. There's a big swing and a miss by Needham as Hilton was able to get him out in front on the off-speed pitch. Bases clear, 1 away after that web gem by Mwali, and the 0-1 pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and a check swing that tipped off the bat of Needham for a foul ball. 1-2. Hilton looks in and is now set for the 1-2 pitch to Zach Needham. And a foul back. Count remains 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch misses low to Needham, below the knees. Count evens up now to 2-2. There is one other afternoon game on this Sunday going on right now in the West Coast League. Over in Port Angeles, it's 6-2, the lefties on top of the Wenatchee Apple Sox in the top of the 5th. There are also 3 more games coming up later today, as the 2-2 pitch misses down and away. Count fills to 3 balls and 2 strikes. The other 3 games on the West Coast League docket here for this evening are Portland and Walla Walla down in Walla Walla, where the HarbourCats will be headed after this series, as Needham draws the walk here with 1 out. He will reach base for the second time in this game via the walk. But it's the Pickles and the Sweets at 4:35 down at Borleski Stadium. Again, the next stop for Victoria as Hilton has seen his day come to an end. Brian McRae takes the ball. New pitcher is coming into the game for the HarbourCats, and we'll tell you who it is when we come back.
Now pitching for your HarbourCats, from the University of San Diego, number 40, Nathan Walker.
Pitching change for Victoria here in the top of the 5th inning. Nathan Walker, the big right-hander out of the University of San Diego, will enter in relief of Tyler Hilton, who is responsible for the runner at first after the walk. That is Zach Needham over there at first base with one away. This is Matt James, the DH, taking strike one from Walker. Walker's had two very strong appearances out of the bullpen in a row for Victoria. Back on June the 17th against Port Angeles, he went 3 innings, allowing a run on a hit and a walk with 3 strikeouts. And his last appearance was on June the 22nd as James waves and misses at that last pitch from Walker. Quickly 0-2. Walker's last appearance against Bellingham went an inning and 2/3, allowing 1 hit with 2 strikeouts, no runs in that appearance. 0-2. And a bouncing ball to second, and it's off the glove of Imwali and into right field. Going first to third on the play is Needham. And runners are now at the corners for Bellingham with 1 away. Well, we've seen the good and the bad of Adam Imwali at second base already in this game. He made that fine defensive play in this inning for the first out of the frame, where he dove to his right and then threw on to first to get Ernie Ye. He also made, on the very first play of the game, a nice sliding catch running into foul territory down the right field line. But a couple of errors now, unless that'll be ruled a hit. I think it is going to be a hit, as it was hit hard right at him. But perhaps a play that he could have made. Now a late scoring decision. It has been ruled another error, just to confirm. Here's a bouncing ball to third. Spawn will go to second for one, on to first, not in time. And Needham will score from third. It's now 3-0 Bells. A little bit of a slow developing play there that prevented the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Dusty Stroup.
Credit Connor Mack for running hard to avoid being doubled off, or doubled up I should say, and he'll pick up another RBI to go along with his run batted in on the solo home run. As here's a throw down to second, not quite in time as Mack slides in safely with a headlong dive into second. Still one out here in the top of the fifth inning. A run home in the frame on the RBI fielder's choice for Connor Mack, and now Mack stands at second base in scoring position as the hitter at the plate, Dusty Stroup, will try to knock him in. 1-0 pitch, hit hard but foul down the first base side, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Three runs on 4 hits and an error for Bellingham. No runs on 2 hits and 2 errors for Victoria. And Walker is set at the belt for the 1-1, but first he'll step off the rubber and take a little extra time before the 1-1 pitch to Dusty Stroup.
How many people do we usually try and get?
Dustin Demeter trying to keep the runner close at second, and a wild throw from Walker. Demeter had to dive out to make sure that ball didn't sail into center field. As the HarbourCats were trying to keep Connor Mack, the base runner, close at second base. Count is 1-1 here on Stroup. And here's a high fly ball to shallow right. It'll be Jack Smith looking at it, actually on the infield dirt to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Another run scores for Bellingham. They have one in the second, fourth, and fifth to take a 3-0 lead as we are halfway home at Wilson's Group Stadium.
Everybody up. Here we go. We're going to toss the point in the air. If it lands on its head, you need to have your hand on your head or your tail. If you're wrong, you sit down. It is heads. If your hand is on your tail, you sit down. It is tails. If your hand is on your head, you sit down. Heads. If your hand is on your tail, sit down. Tails. If your hand is on your head, you sit down. Heads, if your hand is on your tail, sit down. Tails, if your hand is on your head, sit down. Heads, if your hand is on your tail, sit down. You still got one? You got one up here. Tails, if your hand is on your head, you sit down. Heads, if your hand is on your tail, sit down. Still got one, I got one over here. Heads, if your hand is on your tail, sit down. I think it's that time. I gotta get out of here. All right, let's go Cats. Leading off for your HarbourCats, the first baseman from Washington State, number 13, Jack Smith.
HarbourCats trail 3-0 as we begin play in the bottom of the fifth inning. Chris Michaels back to work, coming in to relieve the starter Ben Leeper, who went 3 strong innings. Michaels himself had a strong last frame, allowed a hit but nothing more for a scoreless bottom of the fourth. This is Jack Smith, the first baseman out of Washington State, leading off Victoria's half of the fifth. Close breaking ball that missed to Smith there. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch is sliced foul, moving the count to 1-2. For Victoria, it's the bottom third of the order due up here in the home half of the fifth. Smith, Demeter, and Imwali, as the HarbourCats try to start to get their offense going on this Sunday afternoon. They trail by the 3 runs, which the Bells have just chipped away and slowly added to the board. 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, as Smith strikes out there for the first out of the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting the shortstop from the University of Hawaii, number 10, Dustin Demeter.
So here now, Dustin Demeter, the shortstop. Demeter drew a walk his first time up. First pitch from Michaels is behind his back as he, I think, just overthrew that breaking ball. Demeter was able to duck out of the way of it, so it's just ball 1. Michaels will make sure that he has a good grip on the ball here before this next pitch. There's a fastball upstairs, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. And the pitch. That one low and away, not close. And it's 3 balls and no strikes now on Demeter, who, as mentioned, drew a walk his first time to the plate. He'd love to take another one here with the HarbourCats looking for some base runners. And the 3-0. That one low again. And a pretty easy at-bat there for Demeter to take 4 wide ones.
Now batting the second baseman from State College of Florida.
So it's a pair of walks for Demeter on the day. Here is Adam Imwali. And again, Imwali was given an error on that last play in the top half of the inning. Was hit very hard right at him at second base. Could have gone either way, a hit or an error, as opposed to the first error he made in the second inning, which was clearly a play that should have been made. This one is lined into right field, base hit. Demeter will stop at second, and the HarbourCats now have something doing here in the inning with 2 on and 1 out. And we'll go back to the top of the order for Nick Playa as the HarbourCats try to, at the very least, get on the board here in the bottom of the fifth and chip away at this 3-run deficit.
Stay up there and tell them when I'm on them to get.
Playa comes to the HarbourCats out of Cal Baptist, native of Santa Clarita, California, and Hart High School. He had a very good sophomore season at Cal Baptist last season, slashing .333, .443, and .481. As this one is hit in the air to pretty deep right field. Gliding back underneath it is Machtolf to make the catch. Demeter will tag and advance to third. But it is out number 2 here in the inning, as now Cade Brown will step up to hit with runners at the corners. Here's Cade Brown awaiting the first pitch, and he takes a strike from Michaels. 0-1. It's Dustin Demeter at third, Adam Imwali at first, here with 2 away. HarbourCats trying to get at least here that lead runner Demeter in, 90 feet away at third. Pitch bouncing to the plate, nice block by Pasek to keep it in front. Count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. If Brown is able to reach here to keep the inning alive with 2 away, it'd be Jason Willow to hit for the HarbourCats. And now we have Jim Clem, the pitching coach for Bellingham, coming out of the dugout to have a word with Chris Michaels. Get the sense that this is a big spot in the ball game. HarbourCats have been hard-pressed for offense to this point in what has been a very well-pitched game by both starter Ben Leeper and Michaels in relief. But runners are at the corners. The HarbourCats have the meat of their order here coming up with Brown, the 2-hitter, then Willow in the 3 spot. And trying to really keep the line moving after the walk by Demeter and then the single by Mwali. Count is 1-1 here to Cade Brown. And before the pitch, a throw over to check on Mwali at first. Ball and a strike. And it's high and away to Brown. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the count. Count now 2-1, and Brown awaits the pitch. This one is swung on and lifted foul into the seats. That evens up the count at 2-2. The next pitch Michaels throws will be his 30th in relief. And it'll be a 2-2 offering here to Cade Brown. As Michaels looks in and is now set for the pitch. Runner goes in, Mwali for second, and it's fouled away, so he will retreat back to first. Brown, of course, having to protect with 2 strikes on him and 2 outs. See if the HarbourCats are looking to send Mwali again here on another 2-2 pitch. Another 2-2. That one inside. It will roll away from the catcher, and that will allow Mwali to advance up to second. Pasek blocked it, which was the important part, of course, keeping Demeter at third. But the HarbourCats now have 2 men in scoring position, and the count is full to Cade Brown, 3-2. Michaels does have that base open at first if he wants to use it, so he does not necessarily have to come in here on this 3-2 pitch. And the payoff is low for ball 4, and Brown was disciplined in that at bat to lay off it and take a walk. That'll bring Jason Willow to the plate with the bases loaded and the first real chance for the HarbourCats to put some runs on the board. They did have a runner at third base with 1 out earlier in the game, but could not get him in. But now the bases are full, and Willow, who has homered in this series, steps to the plate. HarbourCats have really made Chris Michaels work here in this inning. There's a right-hander throwing in the Bells bullpen for Victoria, also a right-hander up and warming. And Willow takes strike 1. Michael's able to get that first pitch over for a strike and get himself ahead in the count. That one an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh-1 is in there, strike 2, and a close pitch. Not popular among the fans here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Don't think that would be popular among the dogs at the ballpark either. And Willow, it looked like he was surprised that that was a called strike 2, but now he has to battle. And Michaels is looking for one more good pitch here to finish him off. 0-2, fouled back. Just getting a piece on a good breaking ball to stay alive was Willow. For the HarbourCats, it's Demeter at third and Mwali at second, Cade Brown at first. Bases full with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. HarbourCats trying to find their first run of the game. And another 0-2 is lined into right field, base hit. Demeter scores. Here comes in Wally. He will come home, and it gets past the right fielder, Machtolf. Cade Brown coming for the plate. He will score. And on the air in right field, it'll be a bases clearing triple for Jason Willow, and the game is tied. Will not go down as a triple, most likely a single and a 2-base error. But for Victoria, it's a new game, all tied up at 3-3, and the switch has been made to the bullpen. That'll be it for Chris Michaels. Jason Willow had 2 strikes on him, and he came through for the HarbourCats. And now it's a pitching change for Bellingham. New ball game at 3-3.
All right, fans, up down on the main grandstand here. We got a dog here with no collar and no owner at the moment. He's really cute. He's kind of white. Looks kind of Labrador Retriever cross going on here. He's really nice. Good with people. It doesn't look like he has a ticket. Maybe he just stuck in. Still no claim on the dog here. Guess you can take home. Now batting the right fielder from Georgia Southern, number 33, Jedediah Baggs.
Three ball game here in the 5th inning at Wilson's Group Stadium as Jason Willow came through with a big base hit. Got a little help in right field from Jack Machtolf to allow all 3 runners on base to come in to score. And Justin Armbruster is the new pitcher here into the game for Bellingham. Ball and no strikes. There's a big swing and a miss by Jed Fagg. And it's now 1-1. Willow stands at 3rd with 2 away. The line scores now for both teams are identical. 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors on each side. And the 1-1 pitch. And a foul tip just in behind home plate. Count now moves to 1-2 on Jed Fagg. Justin Armbruster stands at 6'4", 200 pounds out of Pacific Lutheran University. And he is off to a scorching hot start here to the summer with the Bells. He struck out 30 batters in 17 1/3 innings. That's a remarkable rate for Armbruster. As Fagg was able to stay alive on another a tough 2-strike pitch. Count remains 1-2. One-two pitch is lifted foul there by Fagg. Count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Matt Clayton, the catcher, waits on deck should Fagg reach here with 2 outs. It's Willow at 3rd base as the go-ahead run for the HarbourCats. Armbruster looks in and is now set for another 1-2. And another foul. Nice at bat here from Fag as he tries to foul off some tough pitches around the zone and try to pick out something to hit. One-two pitch is lined to right, and Machtolf drifting back will make the catch to end the inning. HarbourCats score 3 on the single and the air from Jason Willow. Machtolf provided the air in right field, and it's a new ball game, 3-3, as we head to the 6th at Wilson's Group Stadium.
All right, fans, look up at the kiss cam there. If that's you, you should be kissing that pretty lady right beside you there. I think you're missing the point here, fella. Yeah, it's not the rave cam, it's the kiss cam. Yeah, that's great. Oh, we're going up on the bus tonight. Oh, that could be my winner right there. Kiss cam brought to you by Global Restaurant. Now pitching for your HarbourCats from Avila University, number 35, Gunnar Friend.
Gunnar Friend, the new pitcher on the mound for Victoria, the 6'3", 220-pound right-hander out of Webb City, Montana, and out of Avila College. Make that Webb City, Missouri, excuse me, as Gunnar Friend fires ball 1 here to Landon Kimbrough, the first baseman. Bottom third of the order will hit here in this top of the 6th for Bellingham. Friend misses upstairs for 2-0. This game here tonight is following a similar script to what we saw in yesterday's game. First of all, we had a 1-0 Bells lead extended to 2-0 by a Connor Mack solo home run, which happened both here this afternoon and yesterday. As well, the HarbourCats were down 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th in yesterday's game and tied it up 2-2. They were down 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th and tied it up 3-3 here this afternoon. But what happened in yesterday's game, after the HarbourCats came back to tie it up, the Bells put a 6th spot on the board in the top of the 6th to run away with it. As here's a pop-up, foul ground, Jack Smith is underneath it, and Smith will make the catch for the first out. So just as I was about to say, Gunnar Friend trying to avoid a repeat of the 5th inning from last night. Trying to just keep the game tied here in the top of the 6th and get the HarbourCats through to the bottom of the 6th inning. That was a real damper, that 6-run top half of the 6th for Bellingham right after Victoria finally got on the board, scored their 2 runs to tie the game up. They could barely blink before they were down by a bunch of runs once again. So that 6-run 6th inning put Bellingham on their way last night. It's now 3-3 as we play the 6th. And that was strike 1 to Cody Pasek, the catcher. Pasek today 1 for 1 with a walk, so yet to be retired at the plate in his 2 plate appearances. That last pitch from Friend missed to him to even up the count 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Friend is hit high in the air, deep right field, backpedaling and stumbling on the warning track, but still making the catch is Jed Fagg. Well, that was an adventure in right field, but it was a towering fly ball that just stayed in the yard. And Fagg lost his footing, but maintained his composure to put it away for the 2nd out. The numbers on the season, by the way, for Gunnar Friend are quite good. 1.80 ERA in 4 appearances. Has allowed 4 hits and 3 walks with 4 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. Also has a save to his name. We'll have a pinch hitter here for the Bells. Grant Holman, who was yesterday's starter, will hit, and he lines it right into the glove. Or was it dropped? They're going to say no, it was on the transfer. So fortunate there at short. Dustin Demeter was able to make the catch before. I think the umpire said he tried to flip it to one of his buddies. That's the inning here in the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom half. 3-3, the Bells and the HarbourCats all tied up.
Today we've got Matt and we've got Kingston. We're going to race out past Harvey and back. On your marks, get set, go! Our thanks to Cedar Hill Auto Services, your full service for repair shop. See them at 3030 to 9O Street. Great job, fellas. The HarbourCats heading over the road this week for a 3-game set in Walla Walla, Washington against the Sweets. We're returning home this weekend for a 3-game Canada Day series against the Kelowna Falcons. First pitch Friday and Saturday 6:35, Sunday afternoon till 1:05 start time. Reminder, next Saturday night, fireworks here at the HarbourCats. Leading off for your HarbourCats, catcher from Nevada, number 34, Matt Clayton.
On to the bottom half of inning number 6, a 3-3 ball game as Gunnar Friend was able to successfully navigate through the top of the 6th without allowing a run to keep the game tied and avoid the disastrous 6th inning that was yesterday's game for the HarbourCats. So it remains a tie game for Victoria as they now look to take the lead with Matt Clayton, the catcher, digging in. He is 2 for 2 today, as he looked at a good breaking ball in for a strike there from Armbruster. Count is 1-1. Another off-speed pitch misses a little low to Clayton. Now count is 2-1. It's Clayton, Spawn, and Smith coming up to hit here for Victoria as Clayton comes up empty on a big swing and a miss. 2-2. 2-2 pitch is a little high, and that'll miss for 3-2. Full count to start this bottom half of the 6th. And Armbruster looks in and is now set for the payoff. And that is strike 3 called, and I think Clayton knew it. Nice pitch on 3-2 for Armbruster for out number 1. So that'll bring Harrison Spahn to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout to this point. That lowers his average to 297, but still has been a very good year to this point for him in a HarbourCats uniform, as Spahn pops the first pitch up, but it gets out of play for a foul ball. Spahn quickly in the hole here, 0-2, as he fouled that last pitch back. On the flip side for Bellingham, they've seen their 3-run lead dissipate here in the middle innings of this game, trying to keep it tied. Three foul balls in this at bat here for Spahn, and it's still 0-2. As Armbruster tries to look for one more good pitch to miss the bat of Spahn. That one upstairs taken for ball 1. One-two pitch is in there, and that is another called strike 3. Couple of strikeouts looking for Jared Armbruster here to start the bottom of the 6th. So trying to put something in play here is Jack Smith. Base is empty, 2 away here in the bottom of inning number 6. And Smith lays off that first pitch slider, missing. Now the 1-0. That one in tight, missing on the other side of the plate, 2-0. Armbruster, a guy who does not mess around out there on the mound. He takes minimal time between pitches. He just looks in for the signs. He seems to be in a good rhythm with his catcher, Cody Pasek. Last pitch caught the zone for a strike. Here's the 2-1. And that is strike 2. Another call that is not overly popular among the umpires in the seats here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 2-2 pitch is lifted in the air, shallow center. Will be actually into left center field, and coming in from left to make the catch is Stoner to put it away and end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the HarbourCats here in the bottom of the 6th, and we head to the late innings, all tied up at 3-3.
All right, friends, it's time for the Good Life Fitness bubble balls. Today we have Callum and Nolan. They're going to go head-to-head, trying to knock over the other guy's pillar. On your marks, get set, go. Thank you to the commissioners for providing the service for our HarbourCats home games. Commissioners every day, everywhere. Take care of the community. Now pitching for your HarbourCats from Georgia Southern, number 12, Watson Humphreys. fans, we got a bunch of prizes to give out here. Art Kirtle. You won the gift certificate to Longhorn Constellar in bid 4. Rex Johnson, you won a gift certificate to Brady's Fish and Chips for the captain of the game. Linda Quigley, you have won as well. And Don McLean. Don McLean, you have won a gift certificate as well. Don McLean is for the coffee. Linda Quigley for the Village Restaurant and the Root and Gardens.
On to the 7th we go at Wilson's Group Stadium. 3-3, the HarbourCats and the Bells all knotted up here in the rubber match of this 3-game weekend series. Jordan Stoner, signaling the top of the Bellingham order, will lead off this 7th. And he'll face Lawson Humphreys, the right-hander from Georgia Southern, for Victoria. Stoner, a high pop-up back of second base. It is going to be the center fielder, actually, Willow, calling off Demeter at short to make the catch for out number 1. Humphreys pitching in back-to-back days here for the HarbourCats. He entered yesterday's game, gave up a run on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. So he'll look to have a bounce-back outing in this one. That was the first run that Humphreys has surrendered here in 2018. So on the whole, he's been very good out of the bullpen for Victoria. And he fires across strike 1. There to Ernie Yake, the shortstop. This is certainly a very dangerous top half of the order for Bellingham, but Humphreys was able to record the first out, and here's one tapped on the ground to second. Up with it, Imwali, and in plenty of time at first, 2 down. So a nice efficient start here to this 7th inning for Humphreys as he tries to find one more out to make it a 1-2-3 inning. This is the third baseman, Zach Needham, trying to extend the frame for the Bells as he takes strike 1. Humphreys right around the zone as he usually is. And that is strike 2. Quickly 0-2 the count on Needham, who is 0 for 1 with a run scored and a couple of walks. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out here in the top of the 7th. And here's a pop-up into foul ground down the left field line. Tracking it is Spawn, and he will make the catch. Nice play in behind the Strathcona Hotel rooftop party deck by Harrison Spawn to end the inning.
All right, friends, it is time for the BC Transit 7th inning stretch. Get on out, stretch outs, and take me over to the ball game. What a great day for ice cream. Let's see your moves out there. Let's go.
coming out of the 7th inning stretch here at Wilson's Group Stadium. To the bottom of the 7th we go, and Dustin Demeter, the shortstop out of Hawaii, will lead things off for the HarbourCats, who are all tied up with Bellingham 3-3. Still out there, Jared Armbruster. And he fires across strike one there to Demeter on the first pitch of the bottom of inning number 7. Armbruster threw an inning and a third, but he's pitched across now 3 separate innings in this game. Yet to allow any base runners. Armbruster with a couple of strikeouts. And he's quickly ahead here, 0-2 on Demeter, as the pitch misses outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch is just inside there on Demeter to even up the count, 2-2. Couple of defensive changes here to tell you about for Bellingham. Guthrie Morrison has taken over in center field. Jack Machtolf, who is starting in right, has been replaced as Connor Mack shifts from center to right. And Michael Petrie as well has taken over behind the dish here for the starting catcher, Cody Pasek. Last pitch was fouled off by Demeter. Count is even, 2-2. And Armbruster comes home with the pitch. Reaching out to stay alive. And see another pitch was Demeter, still 2-2. Well, it was this part of the order, the bottom third for the HarbourCats, that got the rally going. In the bottom of the 5th, Demeter reached via a walk, and Wally singled, and Wally will come up to hit next as the last pitch to Demeter missed outside once again. Count full, 3-2. Already a couple of walks on Demeter's line in this game. And he'll take another one. That's ball 4. So that'll help out the on base average for Dustin Demeter with 3 bases on balls this afternoon. And here is Adam Imwali, as the HarbourCats will look for a repeat here of that 5th inning. Now in the bottom of the 7th, as Imwali will step up to the plate. And he is sporting a 1-for-2 with a run scored. Bunt put down by Imwali. Could be a tough play. In from third to make the play is Needham, as Imwali is retired, but he does his job. Bunt did advance Demeter up into scoring position at second base. So the go-ahead run for Victoria is now in scoring position, with the top of the order due back up to the plate, and the left fielder Nick Playa. Playa today 0-for-3 with a couple of strikeouts. So you could say that it hasn't been a great day for him, but you could also say that he's due for a hit. Here as Victoria tries to scrape across that 4th run. Jim Clem now back out of the Bellingham dugout to have a quick chat with Jared Armbruster on the bump. Well, it was a 3-0 lead for Bellingham that evaporated on a single by Jason Willow, and then a 2-base error in right field by then right fielder Jack Machtolf, who has since been removed from the game. That's what allowed the HarbourCats to empty the bases and send everyone around, including Cade Brown, all the way from first to tie up the game at 3. And now for the HarbourCats, they have a runner in scoring position at second base, Dustin Demeter, and Nick Playa at the plate trying to knock him in. Jim Clem returns to the Bells dugout. Armbruster will stay in the game for now. And the first pitch to Playa is a swing and a miss. 0-1. No balls and a strike. That one misses low below the knees. Count even at 1-1. HarbourCats do have 2 tries here with 1 out in the inning to try to knock in Demeter from second. After Playa, it'll be Cade Brown, the DH. And Armbruster delivers the 1-1, which is a little low and inside once again. Count moves to 2-1. Here's the long look in for Armbruster, and he's now set for the 2-1 to Nick Playa. And the pitch is lined to right field. Connor Mack back a couple of steps to make the catch. Demeter will tag up, and he'll advance to third on the fly ball to right. So it is a productive out for Playa on the solid contact to right field. And Cade Brown will now dig in with the 4th run of the game, the go-ahead run for Victoria, 90 feet away at third. And now it's going to be, I think, a pitching change as Bob Miller will come out of the dugout for the Bellingham Bells, and he has signaled to the bullpen. Armbruster with a couple of nice innings of relief for him. And the switch to the bullpen has been made by Miller. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is for Bellingham when we return on Go Live Broadcast.
As Rivera comes set and the wind in the deep.
Runner at third, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. HarbourCats with Cade Brown at the plate and a new pitcher in for Bellingham. Victoria trying to take the lead by Brown finding a base hit, anywhere to get Demeter home from third. This is Taylor Davis, the closer for the Bells, who has entered the game, but not a save opportunity here, of course, in a tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. But I think Bob Miller feeling that this could be the biggest spot of the game. So going to the guy at the very back of his bullpen as Brown waves and misses at that first pitch from Davis. It's Demeter at third here with 2 away, and the 0-1 pitch to Cade Brown is coming up from Davis. And it's on the way. Well outside, good block there by Petrie as he stabbed it with the backhand. Count evens up to 1 ball and 1 strike. Davis this season has 5 saves already for the Bells. A 1.12 ERA in 10 innings of work, has allowed 5 hits and 2 walks with 10 strikeouts. High fastball missing. There to Brown. 2-1. Brown in this game 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 2-1 is swung on and hit in the air. Foul ground to the right of first base. Kimbrough makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So the closer for the Bells, Taylor Davis, comes in and gets them out of the inning. Still tied up 3-3 as we head to the 8th at Wilson's Group Stadium.
All right, fans, it is time for the Busy Bat. Today we have a couple of contestants. Ryan and Greg, they're going to spin around a whole bunch of times and then go high-five Harvey, who's bouncing on the trampoline. On your marks, get set, go! Speaking of trampolines, Flying Squirrel, if you look at page 27 in your lucky program, 30 minutes of free jump time, a coupon for Flying Squirrel Indoor Trampoline Park, located in Newfield Road, Esquimalt, Oaks. There's your winner.
Ground ball up the middle, and it gets through into center field for a base hit. Coming in from third tomorrow, comes in to score. And on the hit and run, you've seen a lot more of his pitches now. Here comes the pitch to him. Outside, curveball. He played a third runner. Cabrera comes in to score. And Stevens.
Now pitching for your HarbourCats from Barrie, Taiwan, number 11, Ping Jun Ho.
Eighth inning rolls in at Wilson's Group Stadium, and Ping Chun Ho is the new right-hander on the mound for the HarbourCats, trying to keep this game all tied up at 3. Ho comes in 0-1 with a 4.69 ERA. He's allowed 10 hits and 3 walks with 4 strikeouts in 7 2/3. And Ho is off to a very good start to the season with the HarbourCats, but he did run into a little bit of trouble in each of his last 2 appearances. Allowed 1 run each in 2/3 of an inning. Took the loss on June the 20th at Bend, and allowed a run over an inning back on Friday night against Bellingham here in Game 1 of this series. This is Matt James, the DH for Bellingham, who looked at strike 1 and now looks at ball 1 up high. Still, the line scores for both teams are identical. 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. And the 1-1 is in there, strike 2. And we've talked all about how important today's game is for both of these teams, especially the HarbourCats, though, as the team that's chasing the Bells in the North Division. And it's right there for the taking for either side here in the late innings in a tie ball game, as James just got a little piece of that one to stay alive. Still 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And this ball is hit well in the air, deep left field, and it is gone. A big home run for Matt James breaks the 3-3 tie here in the 8th. and the Bellingham Bells have now taken a 4-3 lead. And James now just patting his lead atop the West Coast League RBI leaderboard. That's RBI number 16 for him already on the season. And it's a big home run here in the 8th inning. Once again, Ping Chun Ho has allowed a run now in a 3rd consecutive appearance in which he has failed to hold the opposition off the scoreboard. This is now Connor Mack, who himself is homered already in this game. That came back in inning number 4. First pitch from Ho to Mack was strike 1, and now the 0-1 pitch is on the way. Late swing, fouled away by Mack. 1 ball, check that, no balls and 2 strikes, the count. Well, the HarbourCats once again will be forced to play from behind once they get to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ping Chun Ho still has 3 more outs to get here in the top of the 8th to get us there. 0-2, in on the hands, fouled back. Still nothing in 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And a check swing. He was able to hold up. So that'll move the count to 1-2. Middle third of the order here to hit in this inning for Bellingham, with James the home run, now Mack, and then Dusty Stroop, the second baseman. Here's a liner foul down the first base side and into the seats. Ping Chun Ho looking for 1 more good pitch here to finish off Connor Mack. And the 1-2 is hit in the air to center field. Shallow center. Coming on is Willow, and he will make the play on the run for out number 1.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Dusty Stroop.
So a nice bounce back at bat there from Ho after serving up the home run ball to come back and get Connor Mack for the first out. A routine fly ball to center field. And here now is Dusty Stroop for Bellingham. Just missing off the plate on the first pitch was Ho. 1 ball and no strikes. Stroop today 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So still trying to find his first base hit of the game as it's rolled over slowly to first. Actually, a second base, and Wally flips it to the pitcher covering, and that's the second out. So the bases are empty with 2 away now for Landon Kimbrough, the first baseman. HarbourCats trying to get right back in the dugout here and come back up to the plate and see if they can get that solo home run back in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll have 6 more outs to work with in total, with the bottom of the 8th and then the 9th. Ho misses off the plate, well outside there to Kimbrough on the first pitch. 1 for 2 day with a walk for Kimbrough this afternoon. Did not see him in the first game of the series on Friday, but he's started in each of the last 2 games at second base yesterday. This one is hit in the air to right field, and this will hang up in right for Jedediah Fagg. He'll put it away to end the inning, but the big blow has scored for the Bells. A solo home run has made it 4-3 Bellingham as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Let's hear it out. I think you can do better than that. You're getting better, but I don't think you're all the way there yet. Let's hear it out.
bottom of the 8th inning, and the HarbourCats once again playing from behind, down 4-3 after Matt James' solo home run broke the 3-3 tie in the top half of the inning. Still the closer out on the mound as Jason Willow fouls the first pitch back. No balls and a strike. We would not expect Taylor Davis to go all the way through to the end of this game, although he may do just that. If he does go right to the end and keep the Bells in front, it would be 2 1/3 for him out of the bullpen, which is a long workload for a closer. 0-2 is the count here on Jason Willow. And the pitch misses well outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Willow, his last time to the plate, he singled in those 3 runs with the help of the error in right field by Jack Machtolf as another pitch misses outside, 2-2. Willow got credit for just the 1 RBI, so the other 2 runs deemed to score on the air. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Willow lines one up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. That one actually just a grounder up the gut, perfectly placed, past the pitcher's mound, and HarbourCats have their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they have the right man coming up to the plate. Jed Fagg drove in 2 yesterday. He's been red hot for the HarbourCats. Had 3 hits in the game on Friday night. Willow at first has pretty good speed. We might see him running for second. Would not be surprising to see him break. Davis was able to fire across strike 1 to Fagg. And now the 0-1 pitch is coming up. A little high that time on Jed Fagg. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch is grounded foul over towards Jason Leone in the third base coach's box. That'll move the count to 1-2, and I think Jed Fagg will take a new piece of lumber here before the 1-2 pitch. That last pitch, I think, cracked his bat. It's Jason Willow still aboard at first for Victoria with nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning, HarbourCats trail by a run. And now with a new bat in his hands, Jed Fagg will dig back into the batter's box and await the 1-2. Davis is set for the 1-2 pitch. Willow running, it's a swing and a miss. The throw down is into center field, and Willow will stay put at second base. That would have been a big 90 feet had Willow been able to advance up to third, but it would have been a risk for sure, as the center fielder Guthrie Morrison got to that ball quite quickly. But had Willow been able to advance to third, the HarbourCats would not necessarily have needed a hit to get him in from third base with 1 out to tie the game. But instead he stays at second. There's 1 out in the frame, and the HarbourCats will send Matt Clayton, the catcher, back to the plate, and Clayton's had a good day. He's 2 for 3. Another base hit here would give Willow a good chance to come around to score the game's tying run. That first pitch to Clayton was not close, down and away. Ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes here to Clayton. And the pitch is hit well in the air, deep center. Morrison gliding back, he'll make the catch. Tagging from second base to advance to third is Jason Willow, and he is in there safely at third base. So now the tying run is just 90 feet away with 2 men gone for Harrison Spawn.
The third baseman from General Baptist, number 6, Harrison Spawn.
So a big spot here, bottom of the 8th inning. Willow as the tying run at third base with 2 men gone here for Spawn. And Spawn is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. But you'd say he's due for a hit the way he's been swinging the bat of late. He's been very effective at the plate and in the field as well, for that matter, for the HarbourCats. First pitch was in for a strike. And now Taylor Davis is set for the 0-1. That one off the plate outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. That one a little low to Harrison Spawn. 2-1. As Davis will now take a little walk off the mound and reset himself before the 2-1 pitch. Spawn was 3 for 4 yesterday, but again sporting the 0 for 3 to start this afternoon's ball game. And the 2-1 pitch inside and high there on Harrison Spawn as he had to back out of the way of it. I'll move the count to 3-1. Good hitter's count here for Spawn as he tries to knock in Willow to tie the game. Three balls and a strike. And the pitch is a swing and a foul tip off the catcher's mask of Petrie. That'll move the count now to 3-2. Nice cut there on that swing from Spawn on 3-1. Count is now full with 2 away as Petrie and Davis will have a quick chat here before the payoff pitch. Willow still at third with 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bells lead the HarbourCats 4-3. And here's the 3-2. And reaching out to foul it away is Spawn. He'll see another. Davis is set for another 3-2 pitch, and here it is on the way. Little bloop into center field, and this will be caught back of second base by Stroop. And that gets Taylor Davis out of the inning. The Bells still in the lead 4-3 as we head to the 9th on Go Live Broadcasts.
We'd like to wish a very happy 32nd birthday to Michelle Tang. Happy birthday, Michelle. This 9th inning is brought to you by Highland Pacific Golf Course, Victoria's 20th public golf course.
On to the 9th inning we go here in Victoria. 4-3, the Bells lead the HarbourCats, and one more chance to add on for Bellingham before the bottom of the 9th when the HarbourCats try to get that one-run deficit erased, either tie the game up or walk things off in the 9th. Ping Chun Ho still out there for Victoria to work this 9th inning, or at least the start of it. And with the quiet bullpen down the right field line for the HarbourCats, we'd expect him to pitch through the duration of this inning. This is Michael Petrie, the catcher, here taking his hacks as after he came in defensively to replace the starting catcher, Cody Pasek. That one punched foul over towards the first base coach's box. Quickly 0-2. Ho is ahead of Petrie. For Bellingham, it'll be Petrie, Morrison, and then back to the top of the order for Jordan Stoner here in the 9th. Ping Chun Ho is ahead here, 0-2. And the pitch. Sliced foul by Petrie, still 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and this one is a tapper to the mound. Ho fields it, the throw on the money at first, and that's out number 1. So a nice start here to the 9th inning for Ping Chun Ho. The Bells still in front 4-3, and they are looking at, for them, if they can get those 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th, extending the lead over Victoria in the North Division first half standings to 4.5 games, which would be a significant mark for them as we are closing in on the end of the West Coast League first half schedule. Here's the first pitch from Ho to Morrison that drops in for strike 1. And the Bells certainly have some motivation from last year to return to the postseason here in 2018. They missed out last season, despite the fact that they had the best overall record if you combine both the first and second halves at 31-23. Bells also had some great players on their team last year. Chase Illig was the 2017 West Coast League MVP, home run leader, and set the new single-season WCL home run record with 15 long balls. And the Bells also had Austin Shenton on their team, who was the batting champion at .409 last season. There's a strikeout of Guthrie Morrison for out number 2 here in the top of the 9th. But certainly with the talent Bellingham had, and given the fact that they did in fact have the best overall record, they'll feel, I think, a little bit shortchanged by the fact that they did not make the playoffs. Bellingham, in fact, was actually tied with the HarbourCats at 15-12 in the second half last year, but Victoria won the right to the playoff berth on a tiebreaker. And the Kelowna Falcons got off to a really good start in the first half and won the first half division crown. So as a result, it was Kelowna and Victoria, the 2 teams representing the North in the postseason in 2017. Bases are empty with 2 away here as we go back to the top for Jordan Stoner, who's ahead in the count 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch, a little high, 3 balls and no strikes. Just another note on Shenton, who won the batting title in 2017. The Bells actually had each of the last 2 batting champions, with Shane Hannon in 2016 taking home those honors. Here's a 3-0 pitch, and that one drops in for strike 1. Three balls and a strike. And a swing and a miss, 3-2. Bases empty, 2 away, and a 3-2 pitch coming up from Ho to Jordan Stoner. That one outside for ball 4, and the inning will not be over just yet, as the 2-out walk is issued by Ping Chun Ho. That'll give Ernie Yake another chance to hit. He is 1 for 4 today. There is strike 1 on Ernie Yake, who, by the way, did have a hit in the at-bat against Ping Chun Ho back on Friday night. So a bit of a familiarity here for Yake, not something you usually get in the West Coast League, where you face a pitcher multiple times, especially a reliever out of the bullpen. Runner going for second, and it's thrown into center field. Matt James will... Or check that, Jordan Stoner will stay put at second base, as did not get far enough away from Willow in center field for him to try to advance to third. Count is 0-2 here on Yake, with Stoner now at second base in scoring position. Yake trying to knock him in as a big insurance run for Bellingham. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is fouled back by Yake. Still 0-2. Another 0-2 pitch here from Ho coming up to Ernie Yake, and here it is. And another foul. Hard liner past the over top of the seats down the third base line. Yake putting up a good battle here behind 0-2 as Ho tries to find one more good pitch to finish him off. Another 0-2 and another foul. So Yake continues to battle, and he's not making Ho's life easy. It's been a long couple of innings for him. Next pitch he throws will be his 35th in relief over the inning and 2/3 he's worked to this point. Still at second base is Jordan Stoner, and this 0-2 pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There are a couple of pitchers throwing in the bullpen for Bellingham, both a righty and a lefty. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed off the outside edge. Count now 2-2. Really nice at bat here put up by Yake after falling behind 0-2, fouled off a couple tough pitches, and has now taken the last 2 for balls to even up the count. 2-2 pitch is fouled away out in front of home plate and then to the right side of the first base foul line. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a lengthy at bat here playing out between Ping Chun Ho and Ernie Yake. Here is another 2-2. And this one is skied in the air to center. Shallow left center field, and it'll be Nick Playa making the catch to retire the side. HarbourCats in need of a run as we head to the bottom of the 9th with Victoria trailing 4-3.
construction is trusted family-owned developer. There's some beautiful new townhomes in Lower Check them out at thereed.ca. HarbourCats are pleased to have Christian J. Stewart as the official photographer for the team. We have all the extended action in the 2018 season, as well as providing game summaries and conclusion of all home games. One registration and stories on HarbourCats' webpage is the big view and purchase images of your favorite HarbourCats player on his website, christianjstewart.sanfolio.com/HarbourCats. Thank you to Mike Brand Agency for the design and maintenance of the new HarbourCats website. If you're an agency, takes all new big things. Visit our website at HarbourCats.com. Mike Brand Agency. Leading off for the HarbourCats, the first baseman from Washington State, number 13, Jack Smith.
Bottom of the ninth we go. Jack Smith swinging away at the first pitch. Fly ball medium deep center field, and Guthrie Morrison puts it away for the first out. As Taylor Davis has come back out to the mound for the ninth inning, as he may in fact be asked to go the 2 1/3 out of the bullpen. Back in the last half inning, the Bells did have double-barreled action going on in their bullpen, but it looks like Davis is going to have this ninth inning to himself if he can pitch effectively and keep the HarbourCats off the bases. There is strike one to Dustin Demeter, as Smith, Demeter, and Wally will hit here for Victoria in the bottom of the ninth. 4-3, the Bells lead it. HarbourCats in need of a run to keep things going here this afternoon. 0-1 is taken at the knees. Strike two. This will not be a safe chance for Davis here in the ninth, but he will, if he can get through these last couple outs, he will get credit for the win for the Bells, as he came on in a tied ball game, kept it tied, and then his Bells got him the lead with the solo home run by Matt James in the top of the eighth. 1-2 pitch coming up here to Dustin Demeter. And this ball is hit pretty deep left field down the line. Drifting over to it from left is Stoner to make the catch, and that is out number 2. So the HarbourCats now down to their final out tonight. And standing in the way will be Caleb Ricketts, a pinch hitter for the second baseman Adam Imwali. Chance to look at the score down in Port Angeles. That was a 6-2 ball game in the fifth last we checked. Now it's 8-7 Wenatchee, as the Apple Sox have come back on the lefties. And the three other games between Portland, Walla Walla, Corvallis Bend, and Yakima Valley and Kelowna yet to get underway. Caleb Ricketts takes a fastball up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Ricketts was a pinch hitter in yesterday's game as well, getting a chance off the bench. There's a swing and a foul back, 1-1. Ricketts yet to homer yet this season with the HarbourCats, but he is a guy with some home run pop in his bat. Certainly that's what he'll be trying to do here with the bases empty, 2 away. HarbourCats down by a run and down to their final out. 2 balls and a strike. And Ricketts lines one into left field through the hole for a base hit. So it's not a homer, but it does keep the game alive. Ricketts does exactly his job, and that'll keep the line moving here for Victoria, as Nick Playa will come back up to hit. Playa in this game, 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. This would be a great time for him to break out of that and pick up his first hit of the game. Ricketts at first base with 2 away, and Taylor Davis still in search of one final out as Playa fouls the first pitch back to the screen. Nothing in one pitch is just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So an even count, 1-1 here for Playa at the plate. Ricketts still over there at first. And the pitch from Davis is in the dirt. Good block there by Petrie as he thought about tossing it down to first base, but Ricketts was able to scamper back. Now 2-1, the count on Playa, as Davis probably nearing the end of the tank for him. But Bob Miller trying to get one more out of his closer. And the 2-1, missing upstairs, 3-1. So a couple of options here for Playa. A walk would help the cause, pushing Ricketts into scoring position at second. But he can also feel free to swing away here on 3-1. And a swing and a foul back. It's now full 3-2. So that means Ricketts now will get a running start from first on 3-2 with 2 away. Anything to one of the gaps in the outfield should get him in from Nick Playa. Petrie with a quick mound visit to check in with Davis. Three balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. HarbourCats trailing by a run, and Taylor Davis is set for the pitch to Playa. That one misses for ball 4. And Playa will reach base, pushing Ricketts up to second. And now a chance for Cade Brown to hit and find some outfield grass to give Ricketts a chance to come in from second base. And another quick meeting on the mound between Davis and Petrie. Jim Clem now will take his turn to walk out to the mound and give his 2 cents for a big spot. Cade Brown, the hitter at the plate. Perhaps just another chance for Davis to go over the scouting report with Clem on the hitter Brown. Well, the HarbourCats will head out to Walla Walla for 3 against the Sweets Monday to Wednesday before a day off Thursday. And then they'll return home to face the Kelowna Falcons for Canada Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday here at Wilson's Group Stadium. But they'd love to go there to Walla Walla, 2.5 back of the Bells, and instead of 4.5 back. Here's the first pitch to Brown, and it misses outside, 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Brown has worked himself into a good hitter's count. 2 balls and no strikes as Davis has been taking a lot of time in between pitches. It appears as though he is near empty on his tank. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. And a check swing. Did he go? He did not. That's ball 3. HarbourCats have sensed that I think they can take a little more momentum on their side here in the bottom of the 9th inning, but they still need that one big hit to get the tying run in. Three balls, no strikes. And that is a strike from Davis to move the count to 3-1. Brown, it looked like, was taking on that 3-0 count. He might be taking again here on 3-1, although if he gets something to hit over the plate, I think he won't want to miss it. And before the 3-1, another step off the rubber. And Brown with a fly ball center field. This is playable for Morrison, and he will make the catch to end the game as Taylor Davis does a masterful job out of the bullpen. 2 1/3 for him. He gets credit for the win, and the Bells take the series with the HarbourCats 2-1 in what was really a great series between these two teams. Close games on Friday and this afternoon, sandwiching the Bells' big victory 10-2 in last night's game. Well, we thank you for tuning in this weekend on Go Live Broadcast as the HarbourCats fall in 2 out of 3 to the Bellingham Bells. HarbourCats now head to Walla Walla for 3 before heading back home for Canada Day weekend. Always a great weekend at Wilsons Group Stadium as they welcome in their BC rivals, the Kelowna Falcons. For Chris Jaycox in the truck and our great crew here at Wilsons Group Stadium, my name is Mike Edwards, saying so long from Victoria.